guys, welcome back to another boat tour video in virtual reality. Put on your goggles and follow me. Today we're going to be looking at a 62-foot Moody DS deck saloon. That is really the size of a 62-foot floating apartment complex. They should have a rental office here. It is 17 feet across and about 30 tons of boat, or 60-some thousand pounds. Follow me, put on your headset and come on board. I'm Bo Lorentzen. So remember, you can click on the screen with your laptop or put on an Oculus Quest headset to look around and see what's behind you when you see these shots inside the boat. Well, that's a lot of wind. I hope you can actually hear me over the wind buffering. But here we are up on the front of the Moody 62 DS. You see the deck saloon, and one of the tricks that you really have to appreciate in this design is that they lifted the saloon and the center up, and then they tucked two cabins underneath the saloon, literally under the saloon floor. So we're gonna go see that in a minute. And of course also it got big, and you have something to hold on to when you're walking up on the deck here. And one of the big benefits, we got these 15-inch bulwarks right here on the side that gives us an enormous feeling of security on this boat. Here we're looking at down this, there's a little blind. That is the master cabin shower right here. And then there's skylights for the master cabin here that can all open up and you get an enormous amount of light. Another cool feature, look at the skylight down there. That is the master cabin. So you're not actually exposed to waves coming over if you have it cracked for some fresh air. Also here, this is your jib. You have a self-tacking jib. You see the tacking right there. And I don't know if you guys all know how this works, but basically the jib sheet goes all the way up to the top of the mast so that it keeps the same distance as it comes across. And thereby you don't have to change the sheeting of the jib when you tack. That's why we have the track here, and then the sheet comes down and goes up the mast right there. It's also nice to have it doubled up because it's an enormous sheet, an enormous amount of canvas, so you need a lot of force, and doubling it up right there doubles your energy when you're handling this sail. You also see we have a gennaker pole, and finally look how the deck is clean and there's no obstacles here. That is because all the lines have been run in runs underneath the deck, or underneath here. You can see these pieces comes up there. We'll try to get a shot of it in a minute. But that gives us a very clean deck where you don't have to worry about your guests getting their foot in a line somewhere. Now if you look down here, here we have straight down to the shower, and in front of this we have the two furlers. I mean, these furlers are the size of really big beach balls. And you have the anchor, and you have the anchor locker behind, down below the teak hatch right here. There's actually room for storage in the anchor locker. You can put a couple of fenders in, and then the anchor chain itself is in front of that. Notice also the folding cleats. Here we go. These cleats comes up and down. Let's move back and check out more of the boat. On the way back, I really wanted to show you the mast arrangement here. Here you see, this is the run for the sheeting. Everything is coming underneath here and then going forward. So it's incredibly clean. And if you look down here where the stay is coming down, it has a nice clean base. You're not gonna hurt your toes coming up and down here. And I'm used to hurting my toes because my boat is smaller than I am. This is the way to go. You also can see you have the hydraulic boom kicker right here. You're not doing that by hand power, which is probably a good idea as this is an enormous sail. Over here you have the tensioner, which you can use the winch handle to tension the halyards. So here's your main halyard, and you can tighten that up for your sail. Of course, you rarely release that because it's a mast furling sail. So you just set it up, tighten it where you want it to be, and you're good to go. Well, guys, I'm gonna try to give you a crack at what we have got in front of us here. We have an amazingly cool helm station, and when you look forward right here, you can see your sight line, you can see the boat when you're coming into dock. In front of me here, we have custom carbon fiber wheels. We have got Ray Marine, I think it's called Axios system, both with touchscreen and with a manual controller. We also have bow and stern thrusters here, so you can choose which one to go with. And you have starboard port winches, you have the main sheet in and out, you have jib and genoa that can be handled from right here. But the really cool thing is most boats set up like this, you have to go to one or the other helm station. What they have done here is there is an engine control on this side, but there's also an engine control on the starboard side. Meaning, if you're coming into starboard, you can actually handle the boat from there without having to run over here to throttle the engine. So that gives you a major advantage driving this boat. It is a big boat, and you don't want to have to jump around to do anything, and you don't have to. You have a great spot back here, by the way. It does seem exposed, but it's easy to forget how big the boat is. You're not going to be like teetering in the waves and be feeling that exposed here. And you have these 1.5-inch handrails, so you're not feeling that you are in an exposed position. Well, all right, guys, coming back here. Over here, you have the manual access to steering. You can open this up with a winch handle, but that is where you put down a rudder pin directly to control. And back here, you have the engine control for the 150 horsepower Yanmar. And down below, you have the on-off for the hydraulics that you use for all the furlers here. Coming over to this side, but before I do that, look around you. This is the big cockpit, and you can have guests sitting down here. You can operate the entire boat from back here without any guests getting in the way or without running lines on top of your guests. Up here we have the retractable sonar roof. So this comes out of here. In Northern Europe, that's a great thing because it rains, or maybe in Florida where you want to get out of the sun. If you want sun, push it back, and now you have an open cockpit and you can easily see the sides, the sails. If I could speak, that's what I would say. Now, these two big benches here also have the access to a workshop and storage over here and a crew cabin over on the port side. Let me show you how this opens. So this comes up right here. You have the entire storage. You have vice grip down here, and you have a ladder to get down, and the storage comes all the way back to the helm station. It's big. There's not very much light. I'm not going to take the camera down there. I'm just going to show it to you, and we're going to move right along to the other side. By the way, the hydraulic lift on these seats is really firm. So when it's up there, you're not going to be afraid that the wind is going to blow that down in your face while you're coming in and out. It's going to stay up there. Let me show you the crew cabin right here. There. And down here we have a bed and a half out to the side, and center we have a single berth. I say you could sleep 3 people there, 2 very good friends, and +1. Okay, so this is definitely a crew cabin. It's not super large or expansive, but there's plenty of room. I am 6'2", and I am barely hitting, but I can stand up in here. We have the head, we have a sink, we have tons of storage here, and we have storage this direction here. Over here is where we have the washer dryer. Put that back in. And we have the Japsco head installed right here. Moving forward, you can see we left the pillows in because we're kind of at the mercy of the owners, and I didn't want to make a mess of what they have down here already. But to be perfectly honest with you, these accommodations are way bigger than many boats I have sailed in and considered an owner's suite. This is much better. So you get the benefit of how big this boat is. You can kind of see next to the pillows how the cabin here is going all the way up to the helm station. So it's going all the way back there. You've got storage on both sides. Looking back again, you can see the ladder where the crew can come up and down. And again, it is of course this very powerful lid being held up here so that you could leave that up if you want fresh air in the middle of the night. You really have to get inside this boat to appreciate how big it is. Up here we have the helm station, and the curtains are closed right now so we don't get so much bright sunshine. But if you look around, you can see how we have 360-degree visibility right here from the helm station. I'm going to move you up there and take a look at that in a minute. But before we do that, appreciate this. So there is two nice seating lounges right here. You have got USB chargers on the wall. You've got 110 outlets. And over here, see in kind of this kitchen corner where the kitchen is missing, down here below, inside the boat, is the kitchen. Below me right here is the engine compartment. So we have the Yanmar 150 horsepower. We have water maker. We have I believe a Fisher Panda generator. And of course water heaters, etc., etc. The boat can handle 190 some gallons of drinking water and 190 gallons of fuel, which gives you an enormous range. Or you could just run the generator and use the sails to drive. Sail, of course. What am I kidding? We sail. Up here, see this blue thing? This is it's quite tight. So this here gives you shade, and if you want to see up, now when we go sailing, we're gonna have to remove all the covers from the windows. This is what keeps the windows from frosting up when the plexiglass gets too much UV exposure. So they're covered right now, but once that gets removed, we can see the sail and we get even more of an open feeling. Let's move on over to the helm station, and then after the helm station, we're gonna go to the galley, and finally we're gonna go head forward to the owner's cabin. Sorry about the little hop back to the helm station. I put the camera about where my head would be, and if you look forward there, you can see your sight line. You can also see the shadow of Sean Marie walking around out there. But this is all part of the course. Here's your helm station. Over there, you have a digital network to monitor your tanks, and also your electronic network turn interior lights on, the night lights, everything can be monitored electronically over there. Here is the hideaway for your laptop or keyboard, etc., etc. is all right down here. And up here, for when you're helming, we fold this up and out comes this thing. We put that down here and it's now in place. Here you have again your Raymarine controller, and here you have your auto helm, which is called an autopilot on a boat like this. So basically the way you sail this boat from in here, you don't actually steer a wheel, but you have the engine control over there to your left, and you simply you tap plus minus degrees onto your auto helm, the autopilot here, and that's how you drive it. I do that all the time when I come out, when I drive out, not in this boat, but in my teeny little boat. Plus 10 degrees, minus 10 degrees. That way I can go and start setting the sails while the boat holds its course. Now, of course, you need to keep lookout, but if you're in the middle of the ocean, this is the ticket. That's how that works. Let me put it back again. That comes down here. And this comes here, and then this folds over there, and now we have a table space. So that's your helm station. You can look back here, and you have a nice kind of corner. You can see your guest and what's going on in here. And notice these really cool upholstery, like coffee. Really nice. They're very comfortable. We're going to go down in the galley, which is right here, to your right or to starboard. So hang on. Okay then, so this is the galley. You're about head height, a little lower maybe right now. You have fan exhaust for your tree burner stove. You have the tree burner stove. You have an oven, so cooking is easy. You have 210, I believe, power plugs here. Down here, the owner took out a dishwashing machine and put in more drawers for yet more storage, which I think is a great choice because honestly, I can do my own dishes. And I would rather have more storage. If you look around here, look at all this storage. Every one of these panels have storage behind them. So you have storage over there. If over to your right, what you're seeing on the wall there, that is the water maker control panel. So you can control the water maker over there, turn it on and off, because of course the kitchen, this empty space here, that is going to be filled with a new microwave. So you have a fairly modern kitchen here. And you can also see you have a large lid over there for a fridge, and you have a front access for a fridge or freezer down there on floor level. What they did here is really great because they dropped the kitchen down, and the amount of counter space you got by them staggering things, you got a lot more counter space than you typically have in a sailboat galley. And because it's up here, you still have a bit of light and you can hear what's going on in the rest of the boat, but you're not right in the face of the rest of the boat. So if you're sailing by yourself, or if you have a crew that may be working here, the kitchen or the galley is a bit out of the way. I'm a big fan of this design. I told you this was a bit like an apartment complex. Sorry for getting so close to you here in the passing. So here is the starboard guest cabin, and over there is the port guest cabin. The big difference is the starboard cabin, the two birches has been separated into two, where on the other side it is one double bed. You know, we know what couple goes where, right? The size here, again, I'm 6'2", so look at this height up here. Here is the light. Up there is that little window that goes into the main cabin. And let me sit down here. Here is storage. Here is storage. There's a whole bunch of storage over here. There's storage here. You can put your iPhone and whatnot up here. And you've got two portholes right here and a reading light. I don't know if you can see it, but I'm not going to touch anything because I've not been trained on turning this boat on and off. That's probably a master's degree program. Here, space. Well, nobody's looking. Let's see how big it is. Well, okay, so I don't look that sexy, but that's a lot of space. I could sleep very comfortably here. And I have about a foot ahead of my head right now. Oh. Come right back up. You want to sit up in this space here, or have the smaller member of the crew sleep over here. Because the bottom of this is the floor upstairs. And here we can really see what they did. They scooted these two cabins underneath the entire upstairs. So essentially those two cabins, which both has in-suite, see this bathroom right there? I can go into that from here. There's a separate door in here. And the one over there on the port side, you can also has its own bathroom. So this is like the guest hall on a catamaran. We have two guest cabins with in-suite heads, wet heads, and very comfortable sleeping arrangements. You could also prop up some pillows here or there, get quite comfortable. I like windows when I sail. I would probably want to sit here to get some alone time, away from all the noise upstairs, and just kind of watch what's going on through the porthole. I gotta be perfectly honest, I like this boat. Let's take a quick look on the other side. Follow me. So this is essentially the exact same situation, except for instead of having the two birches split, the center birch has been moved over further out towards the side of the boat, and you now have walking space in here so you can put your feet down when you sit down. In here we have a cabin, and this one, while it's a wet head, actually have a closure so you can close it and you have a separate shower. So this is definitely the VIP suite among the guest suites. It's a big boat. I mean, the small guest suite, I have seen a lot of boats where the owner suite was not that big. I feel we should fast forward and let's get into the owner suite. Hang on. Well, alrighty then, here we are. Look around. So we essentially have a queen size bed here, it looks like to me. This side of this bed, the outer side, is definitely longer, so I would probably be sleeping here. But normally you want to keep the girl on the inside of the bed. I'm not quite sure about that. But this is longer. Then again, I'm used to sleeping with my feet off the bed. Over here we got storage. Tons and tons and tons of storage. This goes back here, there's two doors basically. Oops, somebody's sandals. Sorry guys. Up here we have, remember I mentioned outside, this is the skylight. All the way up to here. All the way down to here. So on a nice sunny day, it's going to be bathed in light. Actually, we're in Southern California right now, so it's a good thing that it's closed up. You have these portholes up here that can open up, and remember, those are inside the bulwark, so you're not going to get big waves splashing on them most of the time. There's days where you want to close everything up, you know that. You got two smaller ones out here, and you got reading lights. Oh, this is just comfortable. Let's take a break. I'm enjoying this. This is just wonderful. This is such a beautiful cabin. You got TV over here. I believe it can swing out. But again, I don't have the master's degree in operating the boat, so let's avoid me breaking anything. You got a ton of storage over here, so you have the sliding doors. You have the cabinets here. You got cabinets the entire way here and cabinets up on the wall over next to the bed. That is a lot of storage. And then you have door to the front. I would probably put a stainless steel hand grip up here, but that's just me. That would be about 3 minutes to fix that. Let's go take a look at the owner's cabin bathrooms facilities, also known as a head. So here we have the master cabin head, and it's a ceramic. The commode and the sink is ceramic, and then we have this nice, I'm not sure what that is, but it's really nice. It feels cold to the touch, so it's not plastic. You got a mirror, you got tons of storage here, probably sewage storage. We shouldn't open that one. Really cool. I like the teak flooring, and you got storage underneath the sink right here. Now in here you have an electric commode. And now when you go forward, if you look in the shower, you'll see that there is a seating area in that shower. That is because when you're offshore, the water is not level anymore. It's frequently good to sit down for your shower, so nobody goes flying around the shower cabin. That is your shower up there, and you see that big glass door? So that then proceeds out into the anchor, and it also goes to the retractable bow thruster. That is, now that I remembered it, the retract thrusters are very cool. Most smaller boats, they will have a hole that goes through the hull. So when you're sailing, you have this hull that creates drag. This boat here has the front or the bow and the stern thrusters retracts, So they pop up when you're not using them, and you get a more efficient boat, which means faster, and we all like faster. So there you have it. We are in the front of the ship now. The owner's private shower cabin and commode. This is a very nice place to live. I've been looking for a place to live, and I gotta tell you, this is a very nice boat. Let's head back up and wrap this boat up. Jarritos. Found one in the fridge. These are good. So here we are, back outside, 62 feet or almost 20 meters of sailboat, 30 tons, 66,000 pounds. One of the things, these kids are playing around out here doing donuts and a tender. The boat doesn't even notice it. It's heavy enough that the little bit of chop wave that hits it doesn't upset the boat at all. So you don't have that feeling. My boat is 4 tons. Like nothing compared to this. And that means I feel everything. I feel these kids running back and forth. And so here I am. I'm on the starboard helm station, sitting right here. You have the same eye level I do, and you can see the sight line forward, and you can see that really protected path forward, the big heavy handrails up on top here. You can look in, you can see the interior helm station. My box of goodies are sitting over there. That's big. So you have you're like tucked in, you're safe and protected inside this here. I would probably put some clear sides up just to get this space in here even more packaged in when out on a blustery day, maybe halfway forward. Still the carbon fiber wheel, that is sexy. It's plenty of room for 2 people here, 3 smaller people, 2 larger people. Back here we have an 11-foot Apex tender with engine and all that it picks up really easily. Now my tender, because I have the baby boat, is only 9 feet, and I could literally run it up on the beach when lowering the deck in the back, the swim deck. So I could just fit my tender right inside because it's so small. Where you go with a boat like this, you probably want the bigger tender. So 11 foot sounds really good. You got your barbecue over there. I can't believe they have an aftermarket barbecue here. But you know, you need your barbecue. So there you have it. I think this is my new dream boat. 62 feet of floating home. It's nothing flimsy, it's bulletproof, it's rock solid. Do you think they take a check? I better get out of the harbor before they try to cash it. So there. Now, I'm on this boat because my friend Jean-Marie Cabri got me on the boat while he is taking some pictures for his listing. If you're interested in this boat, please look in the description, grab his phone number, his email, shoot him an email, tell him you saw this video, and he can set you up with the information. He can arrange for you to see the boat, and he knows so much more about this boat than I ever will. So shoot him an email if you have an interest in a Moody 6.2 DS boat. I do, but I don't think they'll take my check. Click subscribe, and we'll see you for the next boat tour in virtual reality.